there's an old saying that goes, "We repeat what we do not repair," which is one of the reasons I am so delighted to be here today at the Children's Institute in their brand new facility in Watts. And I'm joined by the president and CEO, Martine Singer. So nice to be here.
Thank you.
What are some of the things that the Children's Institute is devoted to doing?
We work with the whole family, 2 generations, 3 generations, whoever is living in the household. Because children live in a family and the family lives in a community, and we really have to address what's going on in all of those spheres: home, school, community. So we do a lot of services for children and families. We have an enormous preschool program that includes home visitation. We also do a lot of mental health services. We do services for families to provide resources. A lot of care coordination is really kind of what it boils down to. So the core of our service model is to address trauma. We know that trauma can really hurt minds and bodies. So early trauma can cause not only mental health problems, but it also affects the developing body, and it can cause lifelong health problems. So intervening early where there's trauma is critically important to changing that trajectory and not repeating generation after generation of trauma and all of the results that come from it.
We can't hesitate to talk about this space that has just recently been opened.
Right.
What was the necessary elements that had to come into play to make this place, and why is it here, and what is it hoping to do?
Well, you know, we were just talking about all of the things that you need to recover from trauma.
Sure.
And one is hope. And to me, certainly to Frank Gehry, who designed the building, light is hope. He said a beautiful thing at the dedication of the space. He sort of looked up and he said, you know, light is free. And all you need to do is poke some holes and let the light in. Now, of course, not as easy as he makes it sound, but if you look up and you see the space that's really cathedral-like, the light plays such a huge part in the power of this building. And it is a place that's really a sanctuary for the community, for the children and families, and for our staff who come to work here. I think the other significance of this building is that, believe it or not, there are not a lot of places to meet in this community. There are just not a lot of convening spaces. So what we've done is, yes, it's a Children's Institute facility. We occupy it happily, gratefully, but it's also open to the public in the sense that if you are a community member and you have a Girl Scout troop and you want to meet, you can meet here. If you're the Watts Gang Task Force, which is one of our roommates, we call them, that occupies a space with us here, and they've been meeting over Zoom, of course, lately. But when they come back to in-person meetings, they'll meet here. You can reserve space free of charge and have your meetings, your programs. And so in that sense, the building really symbolizes the partnership that we have with other community organizations, with the public sector, and with our neighbors.
And I love the fact that it's also a celebration of the vibrancy of this community. I mean, with all of the art on the wall, you know, coming from the Watts art area, and this is just, it just has a real feeling that it belongs to the community as well as supporting the community.
Yes, I think that the art, I'm glad you mentioned that, because it really is almost a tangible link between the building and our intentions in designing it and the community itself. Every piece of art here was curated by the Watts Towers Cultural Center, as you mentioned, and they curated an amazing group of paintings that you'll see throughout the building. They're beautiful, but they're also inspirational. We have QR codes under every work of art that you can look at, and it takes you to our website, more information about the work. It really is art to be understood and admired in whatever way makes sense to you, and then there's an opportunity to learn more.
So we were talking about the programs that you currently have, but and as you said, it, you know, as time passes, needs adapt and communities change and things. So who are the clients these days, and what are their needs?
Primarily, we do 2 things. We do early education and mental health. And what that really means, what it comes down to, is we believe that educational success and emotional well-being are the foundation that will enable people to achieve economic mobility, to get out of poverty. We want to support you to do these things that at each stage of life are the key milestones. And they are cumulative. You know, I wish I could say that going to Head Start is going to guarantee you a great job 20 years from now. Not sure I could make that claim, but I know that if you get the Head Start you need to start school, and you're reading at grade level in 3rd grade, and you're graduating from high school, and you're hitting these marks, your odds are much better, cumulatively.
And one of the things that I thought was spectacular that I think everyone should have, not just in the Children's Institute, is these fathering programs.
Yes.
You know, how to be a good father.
Well, we're very proud of Project Fatherhood. It's a program that we developed right here at Children's Institute about 25 years ago. And it was really in response to this idea that mainly in the child welfare system, the child protective system, the focus, understandably, is very much on the mother's family, services to the mother. There's certainly a lot of fathers that want to be involved in their children's lives, and they're prevented for a variety of reasons. So we saw an opportunity to create a real brotherhood of men who experience some of these difficulties and want to have a better relationship with their child. And you see in our fatherhood groups men of all ages, from all different parts of town, who maybe in another context would not be able to speak to each other, right? But once they get in that room, all of the defenses come down and they are a brotherhood.
It's been the Children's Institute since 1980, but prior to that, it was the Big Sisters League.
That's right.
And a very unique individual here in Los Angeles launched this whole thing. Minnie Barton, what a story there.
Yes. She was, I believe, the first female probation officer in the county of Los Angeles, and had a vision to help women who had young children and no place to go. I think a lot of organizations like Children's Institute were started by women. Draw whatever conclusion you like, but oftentimes it was women who, of all walks of life, saw a need and felt impelled to fill it. And like other great organizations, we have evolved with the time. So whereas originally we were in downtown Los Angeles, that's where most of the population lived, now you'll see most of our sites and our preschools, including this site, are in South LA.
I also love the idea that you were helping people who are starting careers in the mental health world.
Yes.
You're bringing in students that are learning what it really means to be part of that realm.
We have a very robust training and internship program for graduate level students in social work, marriage and family therapy, and psychology. And yes, it is a wonderful training ground because many of them end up wanting to work here, and we're thrilled by that because we know them, they know us, they know, the practices that we use, and they can hit the ground running. The other thing we're very proud of is hiring people that have been recipients of our services.
Oh, wow.
So for example, in Early Head Start, we have a home visitation option. There's a center-based or home-based. And in the home visiting program, we have several of our home visitors that were parents that were inspired by their own home visitor to go back to school, get their degree, and now they are doing the job.
The paying the bills part, being a nonprofit 501c3, you rely on the kindness of strangers. Now, there's some pretty prominent names that I have seen around this building, so I get that part. What do you hope others can do to, make this work go further?
Well, there's so many things. Of course, we love donations, and you can go on our website and donate. But what we really want is to create awareness of the potential of children in our city, to understand that, don't judge a book by its cover, to understand where trauma might be impacting people's lives, and to look at people as we do with boundless potential to achieve success.
Okay, so the website?
www.children'sinstitute.org. It's a mouthful, but children'sinstitute.org.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations on this spectacular space, but more importantly, congratulations on all the wonderful work that you're doing, and I'm very excited to have the chance to talk to you.
Thank you for being here.
And that's a wrap on this LA Currents.